The football team has no name. The New York Giants are a bunch of crybabies. And the Dallas Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl since Robin Williams was catching his boobs on fire.
What is good? What is going on? And what is cracking? I am Philly Foothills, and I am back in the nest out west, where I'm trying to bring you the best when it comes to Philadelphia Eagles content. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I hope everybody's had a good and productive day, and you're able to watch or listen to this video in a safe and peaceful setting. Namaste. But seriously, a few more coaching hires have been added to the staff, and I think so. I'm going to kind of go over the coaching hires, and then we're going to kind of it's going to kind of lead into a another segment about an article that I read. It's not, there's nothing quoted from the article or anything like that, but it's an article about who, might benefit the most. It was an article I pulled some information about that who might benefit the most from the new coaching hires. Especially, obviously starting with Sirianni and filtering down from there. But before we talk about that, thank you for joining me again. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Again, I go by Philly Foothills. This is the Nest Out West. You are watching a Philly Fuego production. Kudos to my producer, Mr. Fuego. You are always straight fire, sir. But yeah, it looks like we've hired. We kind of don't know what his title is going to be yet. I have my theory of what his title is going to be. Jay, I believe his last name is pronounced Vulai. He got his. We brought him in supposedly to be. I don't know if he's going to be a safeties coach, or an assistant defensive back coach, or a quality control coach. He's kind of had some experience in a lot of that, but this guy Jay Vulai, who got his NFL coaching start under Coach Andy Reid. Looks like he played safety at Wisconsin from 2008 to 2010, and had a sports and training. There's my kitty cat making a little YouTube appearance. That's baby. But say hi, baby. Say hi to all the Philbillies. No, I'm not going to feed you right now. Anyways. So yeah, it looks like he played safety for the Badgers in Wisconsin from 2008 to 2010. He had a sports and training, so he had started his own basically physical training business with high end athletes who were still trying to make it in the league. And he had that business in Texas, I believe it was. From 2012 to 2016. So that makes me think that he's possibly, because we let go of our strength and conditioning coach, Josh Hinkst. He was a Chip Kelly hire. Josh Hinkst, he won't be returning as a strength and conditioning coach. So he was retained by Doug Peterson because, like I said, he was a Chip Kelly hire. But that makes me think that Jay Vulai might be our new strength and conditioning coach. And that might be a really good thing. If he had his own business, he definitely knows the ins and outs of it. So that's definitely a possibility. Phil Billies, keep your eyes out for that and what his title ends up being. But he definitely has a lot of coaching experience too. What did I write down here? He was the defensive quality control coach at Georgia in 2016, and he was the quality control coach with the Kansas City Chiefs in 2018. So he's got quality control coaching experience. So that's a possibility for his title as well. Looks like he was at Rutgers in 2019, and then in Texas in 2020. He was with the Texas Longhorns. And then I was reading I guess he had just, before he got offered the job, he had just been hired by Houston to come to the University of Houston to be a coach over with them. And it looks like we had plucked him. And he obviously was like, oh, an NFL gig? Heck yeah. I'm all over that. Like, white on rice, right? I mean, any aspiring coach would do the same. So I don't think Houston really held that against him. It was just the timing was kind of weird. But yeah, so he could definitely be as a number. He could be a assistant defensive back coach, quality control coach. Maybe we just make him our strength and conditioning coach. It's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, if you haven't already, and you're new to my channel, sorry I didn't do this earlier. Go ahead and if you like what you've heard what you've seen today, give me a thumbs up down below. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you're new to my channel and you want to become a Philbilly and you want more of my content and you bleed green like I do, go ahead and smash that subscription button. And that way you get all my content. And if you want notifications of my content, go ahead and ding that bell. That way you get notified every time I post new videos. So, yeah. So we took care of that business. And the other new coaching hire, it looked like we hired a linebacker coach finally. So we pretty much filled all the spots except assistant head coach / running back coach, which is obviously vacant from Mr. Deuce Staley. Hats off to Deuce, right? Hats off to Deuce. But we hired a linebacker coach. His name is Nick Rawlis. He was most recently the Vikings defense quality control coach / assistant linebacker coach. The kid he's only 27 years old. So he's only 5 months older than Alex Singletary, for God's sakes. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I mean, yeah, he has some experience, but he's younger than I wrote down. There's a stat that kind of jumped out at me. He's younger than 23 players currently under contract with the Eagles. Looks like he played linebacker for the University of Minnesota. And while he worked for the Vikings most recently, he did work with linebackers Eric Kendricks and Anthony Barr, and is getting a lot of kudos to their development and their ascent in their careers. So that's definitely very, very interesting. He's very young. Nick Rawlis. We'll see how he does as a linebacker coach. He definitely has experience playing linebacker, so that's always good, I think, as far as being able to communicate and to kind of try to put yourself in the player's shoes and in what they're thinking and what their maybe some of what their reactions should be and things like that. So yeah, and then the other coaching news was, and this is going to lead me into my next segment. The other coaching news was, it looks like we're going to be retaining Aaron Moorhead. Aaron Moorhead is going to be the first, yes, Philbillies, the first wide receivers coach retained after the first year since Chip Kelly days, back in 2013 to 2015. And I believe it was, what was his name? Bob Bicknell. We haven't had a back-to-back. We haven't had consistency for more than a year, more than one season, at the wide receiver coach position since 2013 through 2015. Every season that Doug Peterson was coach. And you know what, Philbillies? I'm not trying to hate on Doug. I love everything he did for this city and for the fans across the world like me who are not necessarily in Philadelphia but bleed green just like every other Eagles fan out there. And if you want to test me on that, bring it. Let's go. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm down. Because I don't just bleed green, I cry green, I spit green, and sometimes I even shit green. That's right. Little green poo-poos. But sorry to get on a tangent there. Doug Peterson had 5 different every year he was coach. He had a different wide receiver coach. The best year obviously was Mike Groh in 2017, but he had a different wide receiver coach every single year. So now the Eagles finally get some consistency, and Aaron Moorhead has a lot of coaching experience. He's worked his way up and through the college ranks, and I believe the Eagles have been his first head coach or NFL experience, not head coaching, but NFL experience at all. I think the Eagles have been for Aaron Moorhead. They've definitely been his first landing spot in the NFL. But that's going to lead me. That's like I said, him being retained as wide receiver coach is leading to our next segment, and that's coming up next. All right, Phil Billies, I'm back. So the article I read was going over a few different players who are going to benefit the most from the new coaching staff, the new offense, and things like that. So I agree with it, the article for the most part. Maybe not necessarily the first person that was listed in the article, which was Derek Barnett. I'm not overly sold on Derek Barnett. I don't know. The kid kind of seems like he's got some issues up here. I don't know, but he's definitely had his issues with injury as well. But the play has just not been consistent enough for me, and I don't know how much Derek Barnett's gonna benefit from the new defensive line coach, Coach Rocker. I think there is there's another defensive lineman who I think is going to benefit more, and that is Josh Sweat. I think Rocker will make him even better than he has been, and will be able to hopefully elevate Josh Sweat into a starting pass rusher in this league, a starting defensive end. But I definitely agree with the most part of the article. Like I said, Miles Sanders, I think he's definitely going to benefit 100% from this new coaching hire, because like a lot of people kind of question Miles, and they wonder if he is a full-time starting running back in this league, and I think he absolutely is. And since 2018, he has averaged 4.9 yards per carry, and that's for the last 2 years, like I said, and that's fourth. That's good for fourth in the NFL. 4.9 a carry. This past year, he averaged 5.3 a carry. Yet, Doug Peterson never gave him over 20 carries a game, and he still averaged 5.3, which is good for second in the NFL. Mr. Miles Sanders, yes, that is correct. And he only averaged 13 carries per game in 2020. 13 carries per game. And on top of even a bigger stat than that, he only averaged 5.5 carries in the second damn half. That's a glaring stat to me. And that means that when Doug got down, when this team got behind, he completely abandoned the run, and he completely forgot about Miles Sanders and did not acclimate him into the offense as well as he could have. Period. Miles Sanders is a dangerous weapon. They gotta work on his catching ability, his catching skills a little bit, but I think this kid has he can take it to the house from anywhere on the field. I mean, he's explosive. As long as he can stay healthy, then the sky's the limit for Miles Sanders. And Sirianni has this, he has the capability of getting running backs to that upper echelon level. He has it on his resume. In 2018, he got Marlon Mack in just 14 games. He got him almost 1,100 yards in 2018. Marlon Mack, when he was coaching offensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts in 2018, and in this past year, he had in just 15 games, he got him and Frank Reich were able to work together and get Jonathan Taylor over 1,150 yards, 1,169 in just 15 games. So, what are Miles Sanders' numbers going to look like in 2021? With Lane Johnson coming back, Brandon Brooks coming back, with the emergence of Jordan Mailata contact. I think we're gonna be a smash mouth football team, Phil Billies. I mean, I'm really liking the direction of this. I think this coaching staff is going to take this team. Obviously we don't know for sure, but the how Sirianni has coached and how Stecken has coached, it's gonna gel very well together, and they're gonna be very balanced. I have a feeling, but like I said, this segment was gonna lead into what I was talking about with Derek. I was talking about with Aaron Moorhead being retained as the wide receiver coach. There is not a doubt in my mind that Travis Fulgham is going to benefit probably maybe the most out of Aaron Moorhead being retained, out of not just Aaron Moorhead being retained, but the head coach and the offensive coordinator kind of having especially the head coach, kind of having a very keen eye on the wide receiver position. That's gonna elevate these guys to make them work harder, because they're gonna be called out. They're gonna be called out when they don't run routes crisply, or they fade off at the end of a route like Jalen Reagor was doing last year. And they're gonna be able to teach players like John Hightower how to track a ball in the air better. They're just I really truly feel they have done some good things with the receivers and the running backs. In their past 10 years with their respected teams that they're coming from. So these offensive coaches, I think, are going to be able to take advantage of some of this talent on this team, and get some production, way more production out of players like Jalen Reagor and Quez and Hightower. And I just I kind of as much as I love Deshaun, I really don't want Deshaun Jackson back. And I really don't want Alshon Jeffrey back either, because they're old and they're slow. Just as much as I love and respect everything that Zach Ertz has done, I really don't want him back either, because he's old and he's slow and he's injury prone. Mostly he's old and he's slow, and he can't get any separation from these faster linebackers and nickel cornerbacks that they're putting on him most of the time. So, I definitely am not opposed to trading Zach Ertz. I love Zach Ertz. I have a picture of him. Right there. That's him diving over the end zone, right up there. So I love Zach Ertz, but there's times when we have to do the right thing for the football team, and I think if we can get some asset, even a third or fourth round pick, something like that, I wouldn't be opposed to that, because his trade value is not going to go up at all from here. So we need to make some better decisions for this football team and try to get rid of some of these bigger contracts. But I think hopefully this run, what I'm hoping is this run first offense is going to get us more balanced and get us back to that 2017 smashing people in the mouth with LeGarrette. And with, eventually it was Jay Ajayi, and Corey Clement even got in there. Darren Sproles, I know he got hurt. But, because Carson was, he was at his absolute best when we were dominant up front, and that took the pressure off him in the passing game, and it took the pressure off of some of the wide receivers too. You know, when the defense has to respect that run game fully, then, you know, that helps quarterbacks and wide receivers, tight ends tremendously. And we all know that Carson was at his absolute worst when we were pass first, and he's, you know, just trying to play hero ball. So hopefully, you know, like I said, this new coaching staff is going to be headed in the right direction. But definitely, I want to hear some comments from you guys of what you think about all this. Sorry, the video kind of ran long today. I'm definitely feeling better. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. I've been out the last couple days. I was feeling a little under the weather, and also just kind of run down from, you know, the stuff that I was doing the previous days, moving the set and helping my family member move back in. But I think I've said my piece for the day. Again, if you like and heard what you've seen today, and you're still with me, you're the best. You're awesome. You're a hardcore Philbilly. But give me a thumbs up down below. Smash that subscription button. Ding that bell. And as always, fly, Eagles, fly. Until next time, stay mean, stay green. Thanks for viewing me on your screen. Peace!